So here's what I learned from my dad. You don't have to be perfect to be present. You just have to show up every day with love, integrity, and intention. That's what I hope my sons remember about me.
Welcome to the Physicians and Properties Podcast, the show where we teach you how investing in real estate can give you the freedom to practice medicine and live life how you want.
Doctor! 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 Doctor!
Now, here's your host, Dr. Alex Schloe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Physicians and Properties Podcast. As you know, this podcast is usually about real estate and entrepreneurship. It's to create freedom in your life as a physician so you can practice medicine and live life how you want. But today, I want to zoom out because what good is financial freedom if the people that you love aren't there to enjoy it with you? So many of us are chasing wealth, time freedom, and autonomy. And that's a beautiful thing. And we talk a lot about that on the podcast. But today, I want to talk about why we are chasing it. And more importantly, who are we doing it for? Let me take you back. My parents divorced when I was young. But through all the change and the challenges, one thing remained rock solid. My dad. He was and still is my hero. This is a man who woke up at 4 a.m. every day and drove over an hour in Northern Virginia traffic to go to work. Not because it was convenient. Of course, the traffic was less, but it was because it meant that he could be off at 2 o'clock so that he could attend every one of me and my brother's baseball games. He attended every baseball game, every wrestling match, every cross-country match, everything. He never missed a game. He never missed a moment. I mean, to this day, my dad still texts me, good morning, every morning. In fact, one of the only times I did not receive that good morning text was because he was in a car accident and broke his back. Other than that, he texts me every morning. I actually knew that something was wrong because I did not receive a text from him. That's how much I can rely on my dad. He also texts goodnight every evening. And no matter how busy life gets, he's always there. I know I could call my dad right now and say, hey, Dad, don't ask questions. I need you to take off work and fly to Colorado. And he would be there. He didn't chase wealth to prove anything. He prioritized his family. He prioritized presence over profit. And that legacy has shaped how I want to live as a father, a husband, and an entrepreneur. So let me ask you, what are you really building? It's so easy, especially as physicians, to convince ourselves that we're providing or we're just doing this for our family or for our patients. We grind, we take extra shifts, we chase the next deal or the next raise or the next opportunity. And we tell ourselves it's all for the family. But what if your family just wants you? Your spouse might rather have you home for dinner than a bigger house. Your kids might rather have Saturday morning pancakes than a trip to Disney. Don't build a life that feels perfect on Instagram, but feels empty at home. So let me be blunt here. Your real estate portfolio, that is not your legacy. Your relationships are. Does your spouse feel seen and prioritized? This is something that I'm constantly working at because my marriage is the cornerstone of our family. And if I can't get marriage right, I can't be a good husband. I can't be a good father. And so I'm really looking forward to having some time to connect with my family. I'm getting ready. In fact, tomorrow we are leaving for a 3.5 to 4 week camping trip to Yellowstone, the Tetons and Glacier. And I am so excited to have that time with my family. Sure, I'm going to do a little work along the way. Thank you for Starlink, but I'm going to prioritize what matters most. And that is being with my family. That is spending that quality time connecting with my wife. Do your kids know you're available, not just when it's convenient? Does your dad show you? Does your home feel like a safe, peaceful place? Or is it a pit stop between sprints, a pit stop between the next shift, the next patient, the next thing? My dad showed me that presence is power. And now I'm building a life that honors that same truth. That's what this is really all about, ultimately. And here's how I'm trying to build freedom the right way. And I invite you to do the same. Audit your why. Are you building what you're building from love? Or is this from fear and trying to keep yourself from fear? Is this an abundance mentality or this is a scarcity mentality? Lead with legacy. Teach your kids what real value really looks like and let them see how you work, how you serve, how you rest. That is really important. Prioritize your spouse. Your kids are watching. The relationship you model becomes the relationship that they seek. How they see us love our spouse is how they are going to love their future spouse in the future. That is huge, absolutely huge. And we have to prioritize that. Choose time over toys. You don't need to impress your kids. You just need to be there, to be consistent, to be present. So here's what I learned from my dad. You don't have to be perfect to be present. You just have to show up every day with love, integrity, and intention. That's what I hope my sons remember about me. Not how many properties I owned, but that I attended every game, that I read them tons of bedtime stories, that I snuggled them when they needed it most, and that they truly felt seen and truly felt heard. So to every physician listening right now, yes, keep building, okay? Keep building. Financial freedom is important for time freedom. It is important to build that time, but never lose sight of what you're building it for. Actually, never lose sight of who you're building it for. That's what's most important. So let's build the lives our families want to live in. I know this is a little different episode, but this is just something that I've been reflecting on and thinking about a lot lately, especially as I've had more time as I'm transitioning out of the Air Force. So if this episode hit home for you, share it with someone else who's chasing this dream so they don't forget the why behind it. And if you haven't, please subscribe and leave a review. That's how this podcast grows. That's how more physicians can learn about these things that are so important. So share it with a friend if you don't mind. Until next time, this is Dr. Alex Schloe with the Physicians and Properties Podcast, signing off. Hey, real quick, if you're still listening to this, I'm assuming you got value from it. So I need your help specifically. My 2-year vision with this podcast is to help 100,000 physicians learn how investing in real estate can give you the freedom to practice medicine and live life how you want. There are 2 main ways that a podcast grows. One is through ratings and reviews, and the other is word of mouth. If you can please leave me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as send this to 1 to 2 friends that you think would get value from it, we can reach the physicians that we want to reach. Thanks in advance, and talk to you on the next episode. Please note that the information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only. It should not be considered financial, medical advice. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the host and the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Department of Defense or the United States Air Force.